Check. Check. Okay. Come on, dogs. Check. Okay, there we go. Yeah. 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 Whoa. Too loud. Alright, let's see here. Check, check. Check, check. Anybody out there, can you hear me now? Anybody out there, can you hear me now?
what are you doing over there? What do you got? This crazy beagle here, he's got something. And as soon as I get up and go over to him, he's gonna go run away, but I want to open the door a little bit so that it can be seen. I'm moving very slowly, puppy. What are you chewing on? You've got the squeaky, right? What if I go like this? Oh. Max. Go get him, Poppy. Go get him. Rough. No, everyone's getting pumped up for Legend of Zelda stream. Go get him, Poppy. Come here, Max. Come here, Max. I got it. Give me the squeaky. Give it. Give it. Here you go. Hey. Dog's a toy stealer. Alright, let's move on here with this whole thing. So as you can see here, this is my whole map. I've played 160, 150 hours. Yeah, over 160, so that's not too bad. So, that's obviously the master mode map. And I've been trying to pretty much go everywhere and get everything and find everything on the whole map. Trying to leave no stone unturned. And just trying to hit as many spots as possible. Max. Go get him, Poppy. Go get him. So, I'm not really sure where I'm heading to next. I'm just trying to hit every spot on the map where I might have missed something. Like over here. There's something up here. So let's see if I just warp to here. I'll just travel there, see what's over there. So I actually did beat Ganon. And then I bought the DLC. Because this game I was in no rush to beat. Not in any rush to beat it. So I've been playing it for the past year and a half. And I did beat Ganon a couple months back. Like at the start of the year. And then I bought the DLC, and I have yet to really do anything in that. Max, that's not food. Give me it. If you give it, I'll give you one of these. Come here. Do you want one of these or what? You can't eat these. You want one too, puppy? So I know it's a bit late for a live stream. A bit too late. For most normal people that would have to go to sleep. But I'm a night owl, so if any of you guys are ever up real late, just check on through here. So I'll probably be streaming. When we try to stream a lot now that I have my Delgado. I got the Delgado. I got the Delgado. I do. That was kind of dumb. I don't think I'm gonna make it up there. So, this live stream is pretty much just an experiment for if any of you came in, I wanted to see where anybody was from. It's just kind of a little experiment just to see where and how you might have found the stream and how you actually got funneled in to the stream. We'll just go to the dueling keeps power. That's what you're doing. Why you gotta destroy everything? You like it? Yeah. Cheer. Cheer, dog. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oof. Hey. Damn dog. Damn dog. chest. Randomly sitting here. I guess I've never been here before. Kicks open door. Hello, sleepy ashes. How you doing? Not the stone talus. I hate the stone talus. I don't like fighting the stone talus at all. So, sleepy ashes. Where are you from? Roundabout. What time is it? And I'm wondering, how did you find my stream? This is kind of just a experiment. And I wanted to see who got brought here and from where, what part of the world, and what time it was. And maybe from what else you were watching. Like, how did you get funneled in here? Because you're the only actual viewer, aside from myself. Can you actually hear me? Let me check this. Yeah, you can hear me.
Can you actually hear?
Okay. It's tough to see just where my levels are at. And I'm still trying to figure out the whole streaming thing and all the setup that goes into it. What do you got now? Give me that. You can't eat plastic. Yeah. Come on, stop eating that. What the hell's wrong with you? Making a mess. Cotton and plastic everywhere. Thanks, people. Ridiculous, I tell you. That dog causes a lot of trouble. Don't mistake his cute looking face. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah. You. Make me lose my train of thought here. Nah, I'm on fire. Oh, bye, sleepy ashes. Take care and have a good night.
Rivali's gale is now ready.
Check. Check. Chickadee chick chick with the Chinese chicken. Have a drumstick in your brain stop sticking. Watch the next Files with a lifetime. Nice. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. I'm so lonely. I only have 15 subscribers and no viewers right now, aside from myself. God. Anyway, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep Ddubbing with the Ddub. This is Ddub here, coming at you today with a live stream of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is definitely one of my top favorite games of all time. I remember 2 years ago for Christmas, when I got my Nintendo Switch, I did a sort of selfish thing, and I bought my Nintendo Switch with my Christmas bonus that I got that year, which was a whole extra paycheck and a half, so that was like an extra like $600. And I bought the Switch, and then I obviously needed games. So I bought Zelda and Mario, and then I still had a little bit of shopping to do. So I returned Zelda so that I could go pick up a little bit something last minute. So I didn't open it, I returned it, and then with the Christmas money I got, I went out the following day after Christmas and bought Breath of the Wild again. And so while that was kind of dumb, I did have it in my possession for a couple days, just looking at the case, and I was like, I think I'm going to have to return this with what I got and what I still have to do in terms of Christmas shopping. So I had it, but I wasn't playing, and I just held on to it. And then when I got it, it was just that much more awesome. Because I didn't even know the Switch was out for the first 3 or 4 months that it was out. I wasn't even into gaming. I had completely fallen off the map with gaming. I, at that point, had never even touched an Xbox One. I hadn't touched a PS4 or a PS3. And that was pretty much that. I just had a 360 with some older games, and occasionally I'd find some at like the Goodwill store or something. But every once in a while I would just put in an older game that I had, and I really wasn't playing much on it. I was just playing like old school, like Madden 11 or Madden 12. And yeah, I wasn't following gaming at all. It just wasn't something that I was even caring about. And looking back, I kind of wish I did, because there was several years there from, you know, mid 360 console life, probably like 2010 or 11, and one of my friends, he had a Wii U. I was in a band with him, and I remember seeing the thing and looking at the tablet and just kind of was just like, oh, cool. But, you know, I didn't care at that point. It wasn't something like when I was a kid, you actually, you know, you see it and you're like, like Homer Simpson drool. And you go running home and you're like, I gotta get that. I gotta find some money. Mom, help me out. Like, somebody, you gotta help. I need it. I need this thing if I want to continue living. So I just completely fell off the map with gaming altogether. And so it was just something that, at that time, I just completely didn't care about at all. And I gotta thank the Switch for just bringing me back into it, because without it, you know, I don't know what would have been with that exactly. So that's pretty much my gaming story. And then, you know, when I got the Switch, I just immediately fell back in love with gaming. And this here, Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey, along with you know, some things like Stardew Valley and a couple other indie games. Let's see what other games did I have. I also had bought like Cave Story and Mario plus Rabbids. So it was a long awaited break. And then my kid, he wanted an Xbox One. And we pretty much got that right in the first week of last year. So we've had that thing for, you know, a year and several months. And I really don't play it. I have really only played like Red Dead Redemption 2 on it. And aside from that, it's just kind of my kid's console. He pretty much just plays Roblox and Minecraft, as any 6-year-old does, I guess. And so I really haven't played anything on that at all. It's just not really for me. I've done Game Pass. You know, I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves when that came out. I got the headset. I was pretty pumped for it. I played that for a couple days, and then I kind of just fell off with it again. And I don't know why that is. There's a couple games on it that I would like to play, and that I can pretty much just buy whenever I want and play really whenever I want. It's just not something that I just really do. I mean, I go to GameStop and you know, I've since bought a Wii U. I bought a Wii U like 4 or 5 months ago. And so I've just been playing that, but every time I go to GameStop, I don't even, you know, I don't really look at the Xbox games. I was looking at like some of the Resident Evils, because I've really only played the first couple, and then kind of same with those, like after PlayStation 1, just kind of fell off, aside from, you know, I have Code Veronica on my Dreamcast still, but I go look at the Xbox section and there's just not much that makes me really want to play it. I mean, I have my own controller that's in nice condition, and even though the thing is down in my living room and this is kind of turned into a gaming room, I'd just rather just play the Switch and wait for games on that. So, you know, when I go to GameStop, I pretty much am looking at like Wii U, and Switch games, because for so long I just had fallen off the map completely with all of this stuff, especially Nintendo. With the 360, I mean, that was just such a groundbreaking machine. And that's just what everyone was playing at the time. I mean, I still love that console to death. But so that was my foray, going from being a hardcore gamer from NES and Sega and Super Nintendo. I mean, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up, but that's the foray from going from being a kid and finally getting a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2 and a Dreamcast to Xbox, and finally upgrading to the 360 back in 2007, I think was when I bought mine. It was like a good year and a half after it came out, because all the Red Rings of Death, I had a couple friends that both had bought launch systems and theirs died out really quick. My friend bought one like launch week, and I want to say he only had that thing for maybe like 6 weeks or something like that, and it crapped out and he had to send it away. And he spent like a total of like $600 on that thing when it first came out. I think right when it came out, it was, I want to say $400. But so yeah, after playing, you know, everything on 360, all the Halos and the Gears of Wars, and originally it was Assassin's Creed. When I first saw that game, I mean, you got to think like back in the day, we had never seen a game that was like that. This is like 2006, and when I saw that, I was like, alright, I've been wanting a 360, there's plenty of games I would get. I'd be getting, you know, Gears of War and like Halo 3, and I don't think ODST was out at that time. It might have been, because I think it took a good couple years for Halo 4 to come out, or no, Halo 3, sorry. Yeah, I think it took like 2 years after the 360 was out for Halo 3 to come out, so yeah, I want to say like I wanted like ODST, which I'm pretty sure was before that. You know, Gears of War, stuff like Forza, and those were pretty much like the games that I had for the 360. And then I played a bunch here and there, and you know, my friends all had it, so we traded games back and forth. We were always buying new stuff and trading, and you know, trading and borrowing between ourselves. And then I just got so far with that machine, and then I just kind of started to stop caring about gaming. I kind of just lost touch with a lot of friends, and they were all really big into, you know, Xbox Online. They were always messaging each other and playing online pretty much every night, and at one point I just like didn't have the internet, and I just kind of stopped caring completely, which is just weird for me. But for the longest time, probably like a good 3 or 4 years, I hadn't even bought a new game. And occasionally I would just play some stuff on the 360, and you know, every winter and stuff, you know, I still pull out like my PS2. I still play sometimes, like, you know, I've gone back and played like Guitar Hero, but every winter I play SSX Tricky for PS2. That's just kind of a tradition for me. And so even in those times, that was pretty much all I would play, and I hadn't bought a new game in the longest time. And then finally I saw South Park and the Stick of Truth, and that was one of the first games I had gone out. That and SSX. Just plain SSX on Xbox 360. Those were the first games that I had bought in like 3 years on the system. And then slowly I started getting back into gaming, started getting back into the whole world, you know, ended up with online, started watching, you know, trailers and reviews and stuff for games that I had missed, and there was a lot of series that I missed, and a lot of things that if I had the time, I would go back and play, but now it's just too far. I have so many games, even on the Switch, there's just not enough time, and I mean, I could play pretty much games just all day and still not have enough time to play. I mean, I'd have all these games here. Like, I've just bought new games and Final Fantasy 7 and 9, and going to GameStop and getting like Yoku's Express, and then the other day I got Katana Zero and Cuphead, and I still need to play like more Smash, and then I get SteamWorld Dig for like $1 or $2 on the eShop, and then I had bought Okami and the Bayonetta pack, and you see it just, the list just keeps going and going and going. Some of these games, you know, Fantaruk, I played that for maybe like 11 minutes, but it's only because I got it for $1, or maybe it was like $3. You know, I won this here, Valkyria Chronicles 4. I barely played it. Played quite a bit of Hyper Light Drifter. You know, Golf Story's great. I pretty much played all these ones here at the bottom. But this is the console that I'm grateful to for just getting me back into gaming. Like I said, I was working with a coworker, and you know, he's like, we're clocking out, and he's like, oh, I can't wait to get out tonight. You know, I'm going home, playing a little bit of Switch, playing some Breath of the Wild. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh, like Nintendo came out with a new system like a couple months ago. And I was like, oh, really? Like, I didn't even know that. I thought they still just like had the Wii U. And he's like, nah, bro, like, you gotta check this thing out. He's like, it's a handheld, but like, you know, the controllers come off of it. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? He was like, dude, it's so dope. Like, it's amazing. You really, like, go home and check it out. And I was like, yeah, you know, it sounds alright, whatever. And then I went home, and I just went down this rabbit hole of just looking at the thing and looking at people's reactions, and when the thing came out, and unboxings, and it's just, I know that my story's not unique, because there's like a million people that I've heard that said, you know, that they were just out of touch with gaming. Pretty much the last things they had played was like maybe their PS2 or PS3, you know, Xbox 360, and that was all, you know, the later first decade of, you know, the millennium, like 2006, 2009. And these were all people that were like hardcore gamers, like just getting out of high school and whatever. And then, you know, by the time they got to be 22, 24, 25, like they just started getting married or having kids and having more full-time jobs and more things to do. Either that or, you know, they also had family members that told them, like, you pretty much gotta start growing up at this point. Like, you know, what are you gonna play video games for the rest of your life? And, you know, honestly, like, who cares? I mean, video games aren't just for kids. And if you're a grown-ass man, you want to play video games, like, you don't have to answer to anybody. You know, fuck them. You do what you want. As long as you know, get your shit done, you got your bills paid, you got your roof over your head, you know, you don't have to answer to anybody on that. And that's kind of the way that I see it. But it's not like anybody told me, or that I thought, like, oh, I'm getting too old for games. It just, I don't know, at the time it just didn't interest me. That's just kind of what it came down to. I just wasn't into what was going on with the scene. I'd kind of just had enough of, like, my friends of friends who, you know, the whole Call of Duty thing started happening. It's like I played, you know, Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, and then like World at War came out, and I thought that was pretty cool. And, you know, playing it online, and I mean, we're talking like 2007, 2008, when like World at War came out, and it was like going back to World War II, and it was just really awesome. And then, you know, Modern Warfare 2 came out, and we played that. That was like the year 2009. We played that for months and months straight, just, you know, a couple hours every day. And there was plenty of other stuff at the time. You know, my friends were buying stuff, and I was borrowing different games and getting into, you know, well, obviously it was a little bit after that, but like, you know, I had gotten my hands on, you know, Diablo 3 for Xbox 360, and I was playing that. And, you know, one of my other friends, he also had like, you know, Tales of Vesperia, and then he started getting into like the Sacred games, like Sacred 2 and 3, and I played a lot of those. And pretty much next Call of Duty came out, and one of my friends, he was still into it, still playing it, trying to, you know, get better at it, but it wasn't like a fun thing for him. It was more just like this stressful, like, you know, between that and Battlefield. And then one of my other close friends, he had an apartment at the time, and he had two other roommates that he was living with, and they both had, you know, Xbox 360 and PS3, and they were all hooked up to the same connection, like killing each other's connection every night, and everyone was just playing like Battlefield, what was it, 4? Or 3 even? Battlefield 3? Because I played the first one, Bad Company, that's the one that I like. And I played a lot of that. I still have my copy of that, and that was the one I played the most of. And then even, Bad Company 2 Battlefield was when they started calling it Battlefield, and then just by the time Battlefield 3 and 4 came out, it was just that whole bro-man dude scene that people referred to. And the same with, you know, my friends of friends. It's like, that's pretty much all they were doing, was just playing like Battlefield, like Battlefield 4, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty, the next Call of Duty, like Ghosts, and Advanced Warfare, and all whatever other ones. And it just was, I don't know, just something about that just kind of, that whole era just faded, and I just stopped really playing games altogether. But I didn't want to do stuff anyway. It just wasn't for me at that point. Like, actually owned Battlefield. I would have liked to at that time. But I was just doing other things, like playing in bands, and it just wasn't something I was paying attention to. And then finally, like, here comes the switch. Like, that one friend I had at work, if I had never talked to him, if I had never went home and, you know, actually seen what the thing was, because if I had just heard about it, like, oh, the Switch, I probably would have thought, like, oh, that's cool. And I probably would have just thought about, like, the DS. And cause I had an original DS back when those first came out. And I honestly bought it for New Super Mario Brothers. And, you know, it was awesome to see just, like, a return to form for 2D Mario finally, because we hadn't seen that in forever. Like, the last 2D Mario was, like, you know, Super Mario World, like, way back in the day, because you're talking going, you know, from Super Nintendo Super Mario World to Mario 64, and there was just no 2D Zelda, or 2D Mario for, let's see, that's like 92, 93, all the way to, what, like 2008? Right, I think that's, like, the DS came out in, what, like 2006, and then you had New Super Mario Brothers, yeah, like 2007, 2006, 2007, 2008. And I had that, and I had a couple other games, and then, you know, I was kind of in a bind at the time, and I ended up selling it. I wish I didn't have to. Max, what are you doing? What are you trying to do? What are you getting into? So anyways, I sold my DS, and, you know, that was kind of just unfortunate, but at the time I didn't really care. There was games I was looking at, and I saw, you know, the only other really game that I played on the DS was Zelda Spirit Tracks. And, like, I didn't beat that, but I played a lot through that, but, you know, I didn't beat it.
Your roof's protection is now ready to roll.
But then I sold the DS, and I had still seen other games, and, you know, it's kind of just like, oh, like Mario. Yeah, I also had Mario 64. That's what I had. Those were like the three games. Or there was also Starfield, which I still have that for some reason. That one got hidden in a pile, and then when I sold my DS, those three games were just gone with it, and it wasn't until just this past, like last, you know, end of summer where I actually bought a 2DS. And now I've got a couple games for it, like, you know, I got like a Kirby and like Dragon Quest 9, and, you know, it came with New Super Mario Brothers 2, so that was cool. I got the Super Mario Land, or World. I have both of those, the one for the Wii U and the one for the DS there. Pretty much just Animal Crossing. I bought that back in November, and then I only played it for probably like maybe like 10 hours, and it just wasn't seeming like it was for me, and I didn't really know what to do, and I would kind of turn it on for 20 minutes, and then I just didn't really know exactly what I was doing, and then I kind of wasn't paying attention, and then next time I open it, I kind of forget like what I'm supposed to do, or like how to upgrade. I wasn't ready for it. I just wasn't really paying attention. And then finally, back right at the start of the year, I started seeing stuff for the new one coming out, and I started like reading a little bit about it. And, you know, I want to get the original one for the GameCube. I have pretty much, you know, I have like City Folk for the Wii, which I've played, you know, a little bit, not too much of. I kind of just bought that, but I bought New Leaf again for the second time back in like January, and since then I've put like 100 hours, like 90 or 100 hours on it, and I've just been addicted. Now I'm like really looking forward to, and I actually like all the lore and stuff for Animal Crossing. Like, that was one of those games I don't even remember like hearing about Animal Crossing when it came out. I don't think anybody that I knew or at the time would have even had that or like been into that. Like, I don't know a single person that would have been their kind of thing. Like, I don't even remember those weird commercials with all the people in the animal suits just kind of hopping around and, you know, walking on like a road and or riding on a train or whatever it was. Like, I don't even recall those commercials. And it's crazy because I was gaming at that time. You know, got my GameCube right under the brim of my hat there, and that's the original one. It wasn't brand new when I bought it. I bought it off a friend. But when I bought that, you know, everyone else pretty much was playing like Xbox, and that's who I bought that from. The kid, he wanted an Xbox, and at that point I already had an Xbox. He wanted me to sell the Xbox to him to trade for that, but I kept a hold of my Xbox for another while longer, and then, hey, the turkey's basement. Let me ask you a question real quick. Where are you from? What time is it? Are you on like another side of the world? Because I'm here in America, and it is 1 a.m. And I'm trying to see where you came from, like how you got funneled in here, through whose video, or how it popped up, what you were viewing, and how you actually saw this. Like, how did you actually get funneled to this stream, if you don't mind me asking? So it's 10:06, so then that means you're in California? Or right around there, like Arizona, Washington. Really, from Peanut Butter Gamer? His actual channel or the Austin Hargrave one? I'm wondering. Because I know he's got both there. He's got like the, you know, gameplay channel, and it's, you know, Mario 64 and stuff like that, or... Yeah, that's what I thought, the Austin Hargrave. I was literally just rambling to myself for the past 45 minutes just about my gaming history, just practicing talking and just ranting, whether it's 100 people watching or 0 people watching. So anyway, the Turkey's Basement, which is a funny name, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to Ddub. If you would like to subscribe, I would appreciate that. I'm pretty new here on YouTube. I've only had this channel up for about 3 weeks, and I've got about like 12 videos up so far, and a decent viewership on them. Like, I had a new video up yesterday and the day before. Those only have like 1 view right now, or 2 views. But one of the other ones from a couple days ago, that hit like 60 views. And then there's like an introduction. I did like a Yoshi's Crafted review, or Yoshi's Crafted Terrible review. You subbed, thank you. Really, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to be trying to live stream. You know, today's Wednesday. I thought it was Thursday. Technically, it's Thursday now. So actually, you're in the past, and I'm kind of in the future, because here it's Thursday, and for you it's still Wednesday. So I'll see you tomorrow. Or today, whatever you want to call it. So anyways, I only have had... This is my second live stream. I did a live stream the other day when the Smash update went on. And on the East Coast here, it went up at 9 p.m. And right at like 9:01, I was able to download Joker instantly, and then it took a minute for it to actually update, and then it took a second to actually going, because I hadn't bought the full like $25 fighter pass. I just figured whatever, so I paid like the $6. I went to the eShop. It kind of lagged. It booted me. It's, you know, I went back in. It spit me back out, and then I finally I got it bought and uploaded and, you know, updated and everything, and I finally was playing it like 9:03, 9:04, and then everyone else had their thing like going live at like 9:10, and they're like, you know, Joker live now, Smash 3.0.0, like, let's do it. And there was just so many streams, so many people trying to download it, and it's just booting them. And then obviously the Nintendo America tweet went up, and it just said that, you know, they knew what the problems were, and you know, they were trying to fix it. So that was my first live stream. I just barely figured out the live button, and through like the Elgato capture software here, and I was able to hit live, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I'm actually live. And I went on my phone, opened up the stream, and I was like, wow, I'm actually live. And at that point I only had 8 subscribers. So let's see, right now I have, with you, that makes 17. So thank you so much. I had 14 today, earlier in the day when I had first like woke up. So +3 for today, for the day. And thank you so much. Anyway, during that stream, you know, I had a total of 8 subscribers. Figured I would see 0 people. Just figured I would hit, you know, go live and try to see if anybody would somehow funnel through. And I was pretty impressed, because I actually ended up having like 4 or 5 people in the stream at that point. So anyway, so here's my second stream, and now I have 17 subscribers. And even though it's way later, you know, there's at least you here, and then me as a viewer on my phone trying to watch the comments through that, because I don't have 2 monitors. So I'm trying to figure out a solution to that. Still trying to figure out all the BS with the software, and try to figure out how to have no latency. And I kind of have the headphones half off here because I want to be able to hear the background from, you know, what's going on. And I'm trying to hear the music from Breath of the Wild, but there's a slight latency between me talking to the mic and it coming out in the headphones, so that makes it kind of hard to talk when you hear yourself just half a second behind it, like you're hearing it back later than you're trying to spit out your thoughts, and it just bogs you down. So anyway, I was just rambling before you showed up about my history with gaming and how the Switch brought me back, reluctantly, back into gaming after not really paying attention to gaming for really a long time, from like 2012 or 13 up until, you know, 2017. Like, I really just wasn't paying attention to games. I kind of would every now and then still play like my GameCube or PS2, and occasionally I would still get like some newer like 360 games and stuff, but for the longest time I just was not into gaming. And so the Switch brought me back. And I've heard that story many times. And so this game here I had gotten like on Christmas, or the day after Christmas, after it came out. So this thing was already out for like 6 or 7 months, and I didn't even know it at that point. But so I've been playing for, I've got like 160 hours here or more. And as you can see here, that's my map. I'm trying to just see where else I can go, and the spots that I haven't actually touched yet, and see if there's anything I missed before doing the main quest for the DLC, because I did buy that a while back, and then I continued to just run around the map and try to see if there was anything. Your sis has a PS3. PS2, you mean? I have a PS2. It's like right under here, and then on the top there I have my you can probably see I got the GameCube, the 64, the Dreamcast, Super Nintendo, PS2 is underneath, and then there's also Super Nintendo Classic, and yeah, I got my PS1 downstairs, and then I also bought PS1 Classic, and yeah, I also have an Xbox One, even though that's my kids and I don't really play it. I've had that for like a year, but I've had the Switch for like a year and a half now. But this game here I owe a lot to, because I remember when I first saw it, one of my friends at work, he was telling me about it. He was like, dude, I'm going home playing like Breath of the Wild, and I was just like, oh, is that the new one? And he was like, dude, you don't even know what I'm talking about, like, it's so amazing, you gotta see it. And then I went home and I started down like the rabbit hole of seeing what the Switch was, and the E3 reveal, and you know, what everyone thought it was gonna be, and all the reactions to it and all the reviews. And just the whole rave, and it's just brought like this new hype back to gaming for a lot of people. Seemingly a lot of people that are, you know, a little bit older, like a little bit past like college age, because obviously there's a lot of gamers, you guys, you know, like same for me. It's like I got out of high school, I was still like, you know, not sure what to do with myself and working a job and still playing games. And then mid-20s about was where I just, you know, people started getting married and having relationships, and, you know, my friends were having kids and stuff, and I was starting to settle down a little bit. And then gaming was just one of the last things that I was really paying attention to. Like occasionally, you know, I'd go to like GameStop, but I wasn't really looking, you know, for like new stuff. I'd still be buying like older like 360 games and stuff like that. And so the Switch has just been awesome. It's just brought so many people back from the grave of gaming, like the gaming grave. Like it's been great. There's hundreds and thousands and a million, like probably at least a million people that have a Switch now out of 30. Well, we're gonna find out in several hours here with the Nintendo investor briefing of how many Switches are actually out there. It's like, you know, 37 million. It might even be more than that, like 38. We're gonna see tomorrow if they hit the that 20 million mark that they were talking, even though I know they said that they thought it was gonna be 20 million. And then you know, a couple months ago, like 2 or 3 months ago, they were like, no, we're probably not gonna hit that. We're gonna restate it as 17 million. So in just about, I want to say it's like 10 in the morning or something that we're gonna see. So right now it's 1:17 in the morning here. So at like 7 a.m. is, or I don't even know what I'm saying. Cheese Juice has subscribed. So I see besides the turkey's basement, there is also someone else lurking here. So, if you want to say hello, please do. And I will, you know, chat with you. Or ask you where you found the stream and what made you come through and where you're from and or what time it is for you. As this whole stream, you know, I only have 17 subscribers at this point. It was 16 until the turkey's basement was so nice enough to subscribe. And this whole stream was kind of just an experiment. There's the dragon! I remember when I first heard the music to that, and the thing like flew by, like coming up from under me. I was like on a bridge, and the thing just started coming up behind me, and I was like, oh my god! And I've tried riding it. Like a couple weeks ago I was playing, I was able to fly into it, but I just kind of got like shocked, and then I fell into the lake. I want to hit him. No! Please don't leave. Take me with you. No such luck. Sorry for my ranting and raving. Vincio Vasquez Mar. What's going on? How are you? How's your day? Night, morning? How are things? Oh, not the Lionel. Yeah, I'm gonna just leave him alone. That's probably the enemy in the game that I just don't like the most. Those things are bastards. What do you guys think? Call me Vinny. Hey, Vinny. Cousin Vinny, how you doing? You know, gabagool, all that. Even though, you know, I don't know if you're Italian, but whatever. Vinny, hey, come on. All I can think of is my cousin Vinny, Joe Pesci. Just chilling, can't sleep. Yeah. A lot of times I say that I can't sleep, but like I'm doing this with like bright lights on and, you know, sitting here with the dog. And, you know, I guess at that point I can't really say I can't sleep. I mean, I'll put like YouTube on and I'm laying there like this and I have the phone like here with it tilted like facing up away from me, but I'll just sit there and listen to it just until I can actually fall asleep. And sometimes it just works like a charm, no problem. And sometimes it just takes hours. Sometimes you just can't get comfortable. I mean, the only thing I can think is, you know, sometimes you just gotta lay there for a bit and then actually get up and kind of go for a walk to the bathroom, like get a cup of water, stretch out, sit on the couch for a little bit, or like sit on the floor like Indian style. Maybe just sit there in like the quiet dark, or sometimes you just lay there longer worrying about going to sleep and more time passing by of you not getting to sleep than if you actually just like woke up for the next hour and just like watch something on TV. At least in my experience. You read a lot, sometimes get to sleep, but it's a weird thing because sometimes the story is so good. Yeah, man, those are those good books, you know? I don't read, like, real big books or novels or anything like that too often, but usually when I do, it's, like, one that you can't put down. It's hard to just... You know, I also read, like, a lot of, like musician biographies, like rockers. Alright, here. Yeah. Alright. Wasn't paying too much attention on that one. So, Vinny, what else were you watching? What kind of video, or were you at another live stream? Like, who you subscribed to? Like, what were you watching when you saw this stream? And then I'm just wondering what... Here I am doing the same thing again. What made you click? Actually, because I know a lot of people, they usually... Yeah, here we go. What made you actually click when you saw like 2 people live? 'Cause I know most people would probably hang out in a stream that has many people where you can just dive in and find out what the subject is, what the person's talking about, what the chat's talking about. And that ends up usually working out a lot better than if you just sort of blindly go into like a stream like mine, because I don't have many subscribers. And just, oh, you followed me after the Philip video. Oh, nice. Thank you, man. That's currently my video with the most views. It's at like 58 or 60. So that's my most viewed video, and I only have 12 videos on the channel. And I mean, I've been at this for 3 weeks, so I guess after the Turkey's Basement subscribing and having 17 subs, I mean, that's not too bad to be, you know, having a live stream where even 2 people show up, because I know for engagement it's kind of hard for a lot of people. You know, there's people with like 10,000 or even like 70,000 subscribers that'll do a live stream, even if it was like right now or even in the middle of the day, and they get maybe, you know, like 100 people to show up. So you know, not everyone's gonna show up all the time, like depending on the day, and people have lives and stuff. But most live streams, especially, like I watch some streamers where during the day they do kind of just like gaming news or whatever, and it's them talking the whole time and talking with the chat, and they get like 2 or 3, you know, between 200 and 300 views, sometimes like 190, sometimes it's lower, like 113 or like 120 something. And then when they just do like a let's play, like I'm playing, you know, Zelda, they'll have, you know, like 21 people actually watching. Well, thank you so much, Vinny. I don't plan on going anywhere because I want to build this up to like a massive thing, and however massive it can get, you know, I want to bring anybody I can along for the ride, because I've been watching YouTube for long enough. I remember when I first saw YouTube, like back in like 2005. I wasn't even out of high school yet. I was like just about to be out of high school. And my friend found YouTube, and he's like, oh, there's this like new site, or I guess it's new, but it's like YouTube, like instead of like UTV, it's like U television. Like you are the tube, like you are the television, and you just post like videos there. And we would go and type in like guitar and like drums, and you would just see these crazy people like playing the drums. Or if you typed in like crazy drum fill, and there would be like 3 videos. Like, I mean, this had to be like right after it went up was when I first actually saw it, like 2005, and I want to say it went up in 2005, so maybe it was right around like 2006, but it had only been up for, you know, mere months. And it's like, I wish I had started posting then, because I had thought about it. I had a camera, I used to film all the time, and I have like an old, like, I have an old desktop computer with just like hours of like all my youth, like, you know, mid-teens, high school, like skating. Like, we used to have this warehouse that pretty much was just abandoned. We used to go there and skate and film and hang out, and there was just, you know, big crews of us, and we would just all get together and go skating and stuff and film. And I always wanted to put it on YouTube, and it just sort of never happened. We used to just use the videos like for ourselves. At one point, no, come back. Too late. At one point, you know, we just kind of used the footage for like, I was kind of in charge of the like the band pictures and like promotion, and I had like a, you know, several like band practices and live sets and stuff that I'd like crop together and kind of just put them onto like a VHS. And so I was in charge of like all that footage like back in the day. Nah, I'm not. I'd be more camera shy if I was maybe like actually in front of live people, but I'm not really shy. I mean, I really don't have like any friends anymore, but I still know everybody like in my town, and even like my girlfriend, or you know, I'll just go to the store, and then if she's with me, I run into somebody, and it turns into kind of standing there for like 15 minutes just talking to someone. And even one of my old exes said the same thing. She's like, you know everyone, and you just yap to everyone. And I was like, I guess it just comes naturally. I mean, maybe if I was, you know, on like a stage talking, I'd be a little bit more nervous. And sometimes, yeah, like just like that, like brain fart. Be like, oh. Oh, what? Oh yeah. So, anyways, yeah, if you tried some videos too in Spanish. You uploaded drunkenly singing and stuff just for fun, and never considered making a life on YouTube. I mean, even if it's just for fun, you know, it could just be for fun for years, and then depends what you do, who your audience is. I mean, now more than ever, it just makes sense because, you know, I grew up in the 90s. It's like, if you told me in the 90s that, like, you know, even though I didn't take advantage of it, and that's now, you know, 10 years later, but the technology, it's like if you had told me back then, like, hey, any music you make or any piece of art or any, even just a video of you playing, it doesn't have to be like crappy camcorder pointed at the TV with you just talking in the background, not being able to hear it, but it's going to involve a computer and then a tiny webcam that's smaller than like a wallet with a microphone here that's, you know, you could fit in your pocket minus like the long cord. And then all you need is like a decent computer, and to have it not even hooked, like this thing isn't even hardwired into my router downstairs. At one point I was going to buy like a 50-foot cord and run it out my window and down the side of the house and then back into the living room. But this thing's running Wi-Fi right now, and then on my Elgato I have it set at 5.00 megabits per second. And so I'm not even actually wired to a connection. It's like back in the dial-up days, you know, you had to make sure like the phone was on the hook and that no one was actually on the phone. Then you had to wait for the tick 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 tick. But if you told me back then all you needed was whatever you're doing, whether it's games or even if it's just you and just standing or talking in front of the camera, and all you need is the camera, the microphone, and then like a wireless internet that just goes through the air, and you could just have dozens or even just two or even hundreds or thousands or millions of people that actually follow you, and just by watching you, you know, they feel like they start to get to know you. And through that, you can basically just garner this like cult following that can blow up huge, and then there's going to be millions of other people doing it too, and you can just get a hold of them through sending single sentences, 3 or 4 sentences on this thing called Twitter, and then you'll just collab and do things that way, and then you can actually get paid on the internet. Like, I would just be like, what? Like, how would that work? Like, that's not a job, but now it is a job, and it's amazing because, you know, 15 years ago, like, people in the world didn't connect like this. I would have to go on, like, AOL Instant Messenger and then go to some sketchy chat room and be like, oh, you're from Mexico? Like, how do you... All right, Vinny. Yes, okay, so you guys are both heading out. Gotta get sleep. See ya, Turkey's Basement. You have a good night. And Vinny, too. You get some sleep. Have a good day tomorrow. You know, Thursday. Almost at the end of the week. Get it done, you know, and then enjoy your days off. So, yeah, I'm pretty much going to be done here, too. So, I hope you have a good night. Return in the future. More videos. Going to be doing more live streams. If you know anyone that's into it, you know, come by. whatever, spread the word. I will be here. So I will see you in the future as my future self. Have a good night, Vinny. Yes, Mexico. What have you got? Sorry, junk shop's all closed up until I get some more junk. You want to take a look at what I'll be selling next? Yeah. Show me your junk. Show me your junk. Alright, yeah. I guess I'm calling it a night too. It is 1:36. Good night, Vinny. Get some sleep. Have a good day, morning, all that stuff. And I will talk with you later. You know, if you're in the comments, whatever, I'll reply to you. And I'll be having a live stream at some point. I'm going to be trying to do more live streams. So whatever your time zone is, around this time generally, but earlier. And then also I'm going to be trying to do them during the day. Like, so I'm on the East Coast of America, and any time from between like 9 and 3. So like 9 in the morning. So for you, I'm guessing that's more like noon to 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Sometime in there, that's when I'll be doing it. So, yeah. I hope you have a good night, man. And to anybody else who may be watching, I hope you have a good night, and I will see you on the next one. So, Ddub out. Peace.